Hey grade 2 drummers, how's it going? It's Alan here for DrumGrades.com. Today we're on page 10 of the new Trinity Rock Pop 2018 grade 2 book. And we're looking at song 2. It's one of the 3 technical focus songs in the book. It's of course by Blur, and it's one of my favourite songs from the book, probably my most favourite song from the book. I tend to find that with students beginning grade 2, I always start with this one because it's a really cool pattern with some really interesting things going on. It's not too difficult, but there's enough there to just get the creative juices flowing, you might say. So yeah, let's get down to business. So if we check out the performance tips and technical focus tips on page 9, let's have a little read. 2 technical focus elements are featured in this song: coordination and trashy hi-hat. The intro and first verse use the rim of the floor tom combined with bass, snare and other tom strikes. You will need coordination to ensure that everything is in time and together. The chorus features trashy hi-hat, and you will need to press the hi-hat pedal just the right amount here. Try not to open the cymbals too wide, as you need to produce audible quavers rather than a mass of cymbal sound. So we'll cover all that good stuff in time. Let's get started from the beginning. So as you guys just heard, we are using the rim of the floor tom. That is what I love about this song. How often do we play the hats or the ride or the crash, or maybe even just the floor tom? Loads. 99% of the time we're hitting one of those. So it's so nice to play a rhythm or a groove that uses a different part of the kit. I find that really fun. So the rim of the floor tom, this metal bit here, is what we're going to be hitting. And as you can see on the music, we have the cross, which is usually the cymbals in the floor tom position. That's how we know it's on the rim of the floor. And of course it says on the rim of the floor as well, which always helps. So yeah, let me start to break down this beat. Now, I've got quite a good way of building this slowly because there's loads going on and we'll cover all of it in time. But it's a 2-bar pattern we have here. And we're on the rim, as we know. We're using the bass and the snare and some toms. But for now, the toms we're going to forget. Okay, so at the end of the first bar of this 2-bar pattern, we have a high tom. At the end of the second bar, we have a floor tom. Both played with your left hand. Forget those for now, guys. Let's get the main beat flowing, and then we can worry about getting the left hand in on these toms after that. I found this method works really great for students, just building it rather than trying to get everything at once. Bite-sized chunks always works better. So bar number 1, very simple beat. Let me play it to you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all it is. Now, of course, if we were over on the hi-hat there, that would just sound like this. We know that beat very well. So we're over on the floor tom, and I should also say, look, the shoulder of the stick on the rim is always the bit to hit, so you get a nice strong sound. So that beat again would sound like this: 1, 2, 3 and 4. We've got a single bass on the 1 and then a double bass on the 3, and, or if you're counting as an 8-beat pattern, it's 1 on bass, 5 and 6 on bass later on. So 1 at the start, then 5 and 6 with the snare on 3 and 7. So I just looped bar 1 there. Very basic beat. I'm sure you guys with reading and hearing that will understand what's going on. Bar 2, however, a little bit more complicated. What we're doing is we're splitting our double bass in the middle now. So now our bass, we find it on 1, the and of 2 and the and of 3. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Or if we were counting as an 8th note pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 1, 4 and 6 on the rim we're hitting the bass with. Let me play this part nice and slowly for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the bass is right after the first snare and then right before the next snare. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Once again on the hat, that beat would sound like this. Fairly self-explanatory. Now if we put both of those bars together, we get this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just played the 2-bar phrase twice there, and hopefully you guys can start to hear how this is going to flow. Why don't I try that a little bit quicker now? 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe a little quicker again. 1, 2, 3, 4.